Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Happiness is a Warm Backside, which in this particular game at the moment is literally true because it's very cold, it's winter, there is snow piling up on the ground to the extent that on one occasion I couldn't leave the hut without clearing the snow first. And I think the last thing I was doing was squatting in front of with my backside towards the fire pit, which leads to a few issues. The first of those is, do I have enough food to get through the winter? Cross fingers. Second is, do I have enough grass to get through the winter? Because that hadn't even occurred to me. Can I find grass in all the snow? I'm going to have to go look. Because if I can't light fires, for which I need grass, because I need to make either torches and fire starters, that's going to be a problem. So, let's see about this, shall we? How's everybody doing, by the way? I hope your week is going well. Yeah. I mean, that's not on, but it was a moment, it was a short time ago. And oh, I can hear it. I'm just checking. There we go. Yeah, you can start seeing the problem here. Oh, that's good. I can get grass. But yeah, look how this is really looking quite terrible. Okay, that's answered one question. which is it only occurred to me while I was actually getting ready for this stream just how important it is that I find grass. This is the field that I've been digging out. Well, maybe it's even more of a problem than I thought. Because I am not collecting grass, am I? Alright, let's try this. Oh, empty hand. Well, at least I can get grass. Even if sometimes it looks like the snow is going to have to be cleared first. That is slightly dismaying. I'm not sure how long I can stay out before my... Oh, my body temperature's all right for right now. What temperature is it? Oh, it's only -2. It gets much worse. This is likely to be a very boring winter for anybody watching, simply because there's a limited amount of time I can spend outside, which means you can't travel far because my clothing really isn't up for the task. Okay. Oh, that scared me. Ah. Okay. Grass, mostly sorted. Yeah, but look, you can see how deep this gets. And I did actually have it here where I couldn't get out, which was disconcerting to say the least. But the good news is my body temperature hasn't dropped too much, so we're doing relatively well. So what I should probably do, apart from eat, oops. I also probably need branches at some point. I think that shouldn't be such a huge issue. Yeah, this was put up so that I could do the obligatory view from the top of the roof, just to show you what exactly is going on out here. It's not looking fantastic, and I need to do another charcoal burn. I know it looks like I got a lot of charcoal here, but every time I get cold I have to light a fire, and yeah, that then becomes a problem. Let's see. Did have some wood stored away, so we will convert that into firewood, but I'm almost certainly going to have to go out and chop down trees. Ah, here we go. That's going to help no end. I need... sure that's enough, but we'll see. Yeah, so I need, let's see, 1, 2, that's 32. 8 stacks of 32. So let's get this. Okay, I think I should be able. Yep. Oops. Yeah. Okay. We are in a position to make more. Charcoal. As long as I don't mess up. Anything too badly. This is going to break the axe, isn't it? Yes, but it was kind enough to... Right. And this is why I need grass. One of the reasons this has become a suddenly important resource. What am I doing? Oh. Don't need that much. Do I have my packed dirt on me? I do not. I'm amazed my body temperature is remaining high. I can only assume that down to about -2 degrees, it's not bothering me all that much. I need branches though. Yep, I'm gonna need branches. Pack dirt. Here we go. Yeah, definitely need branches. Right. And the reason I'm using charcoal is because it heats up faster. Of course, in reality, it would kill me with carbon monoxide poisoning. There's a halfway decent chance of that. Let's put that away. Okay, so what else do we need? Branches. I think I'm going to have to sneeze in a minute. Where am I going to find branches? I mean, I could take down the trees. Yeah, I don't want to go too far simply because, yeah, when night falls, that temperature's going to drop quite quickly. So let's go and take down things like this. Oops. Yeah, it's always the double height ones that give me branches, isn't it? Yep. Interesting that the waterfall hasn't frozen. This is actually, I set this up. And it'll probably show, yeah, that I'm soaking wet, which means that's not going to do anything for my body temperature. At least I'm going to work on the assumption that it isn't. And I need to light a fire. As you can see, my daylight is definitely on the short side. Let's see if we can't do something about that. I don't need a lot. Just a couple should do. Having this little extra block there turned out to be a good idea. I can literally, as they say, sit with my backside towards the fire and try, yeah, see, slightly wet. So that's not too bad. Well, that was a pretty short day. The hunt for grass. So, yeah, I'm warmed up. But now you can sort of see why I need so much charcoal just to do things like this. I must admit, I'm assuming that if you are soaking wet and you're in minus sub-zero temperatures, you are really not going to be happy in this game. That is an assumption. I think it's a reasonable one, frankly. Alright. I am actually going to make a couple of torches because these keep running out, which is fine. I have no idea whether they actually help with keeping the place warm or not, but it does mean that I'm not going to get too surprised by stuff. Yeah, and it is dark out there now. I need a good door. I need an anvil. I need a saw. I need to do all this stuff. But then that is why we now come to the sifting part of the episode. Which means I spend the time. Now, the interesting thing is, if I step in here, it doesn't call me wet. There is a certain element of desperation about all this. I mean, you look at the map up there on the top left, and it's, yeah, completely white. This is only November. I've got, I think, 2 more days left in November, and then, well, it depends on how they model it. In principle, I could end up with practically freezing conditions for another couple of months. Got a suspicion it's going to be a close run thing in terms of, do I have enough food to survive? And this is only a game. Can you imagine what it would be like, say, you're a medieval era farmer and you've got to grow enough food for winter, and you've got to grow enough food to satisfy your taxes to your feudal lord, And if the crops fail, and they did quite frequently, people would just starve to death. And you didn't necessarily have the option, but you probably didn't have the option of going hunting, because that was the Lord's land and you couldn't hunt, so you couldn't gather meat in that way. Meat was not a big part of the medieval serfs' diet. You couldn't necessarily go fishing either. Similar reasons. I can't remember all the details about that though. So you would pretty much have to assume that whatever you grew, that was what you got. On the other hand, if you had had a good harvest, you were reasonably good to go. I must admit, I haven't checked. I know that for hunter-gatherers, spring was arguably the hardest time of year. I don't quite sure what it was like for the medieval farmer. Or serf, which is almost the same thing. Strangely enough, it's one of the things that always got me about um, J.R.R. Martin's um, Song of Fire and Ice series is that everybody acknowledges that winter is coming. And I know it's not necessarily in the nature of the novels, I should say. But while gathering food for the winter does come up, it's not necessarily, it doesn't get covered too much in the books that I remember. Certainly it doesn't get covered too much in the TV series, but you wouldn't necessarily expect it to, because that would be quite boring, I suspect. But yeah, given how long winters could last in Westeros, you would kind of think there would be more of an aura of desperation. But because how long did some of those winters last? I mean, we know that there were, I can't remember, 7 years, something. I mean, we know that their seasons could be extremely extended. We know that there were people who'd never seen a winter. As I remember, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure that the Stark children had necessarily seen a winter, had they? And they were, what, 13 or 14 at the beginning of the novels? I'll have to admit, has any Song of Fire and Ice geeks tried to calculate how it is they have a planet, assuming that's what it is, a planet orbiting a sun that has such a weird orbit that the seasons are extremely long. And variable in length, that's the other thing. If they were consistent, it wouldn't be such a problem. But there's this element of it. So, well, we don't know how long winter's going to be. There's a couple of axioms which I think pop up. So something like, if you have a long summer, winter's going to be long and terrible, but not necessarily. I mean, it's a literary device. It's actually kind of cool. Mind you, you would also expect that they would have mathematically worked out. Oh, could they have done? Possibly. I was just thinking, could they have mathematically worked out the orbit? But if it was chaotic, that might... Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Yes, I know, I've gone from talking about video games to talking about literature. The most amusing thing to me about Martin's novels was that in the end, it's a zombie apocalypse set in a fantasy world, which I thought was hilarious when I realized that's what it was. Wow, yeah, you can see outside is -6 now. There's going to come a point, probably. Hey, Crow, how you doing? It's probably going to come a point where I'm going to have to light a fire to warm up my backside. Sorry, I was pontificating about A Song of Fire and Ice. Or Game of Thrones, if you prefer. Yeah. I did have one realization. Aha, I can make. One thing that occurred to me as a potential was getting grass. Suddenly occurred to me, with all the snow, getting grass might be a bit of a problem. It's not a huge problem, but it becomes a factor. Let's put it that way. I've got more flint than I know what to do with. Oh, you can? I thought you had to dig up fire clay. I'm gonna need more of this. Because, oops. Alright, now we're having to research fire clay. Oops. Don't know why I'm worrying about being an uppercase. Ah, right. Tamed by breaking. No. Raw fire clay brick. Crafting. Ah! Clay and powdered calcined flint. Ooh, which is made by grinding. For which I need... Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah, that is a lot easier way of doing it. I mean, I wasn't going to throw away the flint, but that is good to know. Oops. It does, doesn't it? It all comes back to infrastructure. Everything comes back to infrastructure. Just like Minecraft. If you're a player like I am, it all comes back to infrastructure. Once you get the infrastructure in place, everything's so much easier. Oh, well, seeing as I'm just talking while I'm waiting for this to melt, I was talking yesterday about how oh, I'm almost done. Yeah, I was talking yesterday about how getting a virtual green screen together on OS X was so much easier. I don't mean when I say a virtual green screen, I don't mean a physical one like the one that's behind me right now. I mean one where you take an image, you cut out me, and then you put a green image behind it, and then you use chroma key to remove it. You can do it. I did find a way of doing it with Linux and OBS. There is a filter that will do that for you. It just doesn't work very well. But I did. Early this morning, I installed the OBS plugin to do it, and yeah, it did not work as well as I would like. -8 outside. So yeah, there is the parent. That seems to be one of the recommended ways of doing it. There may be others. Okay, on Linux, the plugin I found actually makes fairly heavy use of either the GPU or the CPU, and under Linux doesn't support AMD GPUs, which is a weird choice given that AMD GPUs are the GPUs of choice for Linux because it has better support. But it does actually use up quite a bit of CPU or GPU capability. And as I said, it didn't work very well. However, I've done 2 experimental live streams where I use the Mac both to play games and to do the streaming with a virtual green screen, and it was no problem at all. And I suspect it's using hardware to do it, which is preferred. And it was a much, much better way of doing it. It was actually really good. It even excluded the chair. It correctly recognized my head and shoulders, excluded the chair, and looked really good, to be honest with you. Now, there may be some other options for Linux and OBS. In order to investigate those, I might need to see if I can't fix the virtual camera thing. But we'll have to see. Anyway, the green screen I've got physically behind me, most of the time it works all right. It's kind of odd. Yeah, I need better lighting to get it to work really well. Even though it looks fine, there are occasions where you can actually start to see a sort of bit of fuzziness around the edges, and that's probably a lighting issue. You need a nice, consistent lighting. I'm just in my bedroom, to be precise. And really, if I was to do it properly, I would want a couple of lights to properly illuminate and evenly illuminate the green screen behind me. I may have to invest in that at some point. Hopefully that wouldn't be too much of an expense. My little alcove that I have here is getting increasingly crammed with equipment. But I actually still have room for more. I know, it's not like I don't have room. I posted a photo up on Discord one time, it's probably still there, of what this little alcove sort of looks like. I do actually have a bit of room for possible expansion now that I'm looking around, if I really need it. But the great thing about the virtual green screen is I can move the camera. Now, I'm not going to go out and get a blue screen. I've already spent enough money on the green screen. But one of the reasons that the camera is right there is because the green screen is right behind me. It's not my preferred position for the camera, to be honest. I prefer the camera to be over here so that it's looking down at me, so you get more of a this sort of view. And that's actually for effect, because then when I talk, it's easier, because if I have the camera over here, I can have it right above my OBS preview. So I can talk to my own image, if you like. And so it gives that whole, I will now turn and face the camera and address the viewers. And to my mind, it looks more convincing. It looks like it achieves what I'm trying to achieve, which is actively engaging, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Because I don't actually have room off to my right. I don't really have room for a green screen there. I would have to move that desk, and I don't have room for that desk. So it gets, yeah, gets pokey. Oh, he's not getting cold. Yeah, I don't know. I must admit, I would assume that green screen is easier, because that's primarily what you find when you go looking. But you can, in principle, have chroma key will work off any color as long as it's consistent. And as long as you're not wearing that color. You know, if I was wearing green right now, you'd see straight through my sweater. Stop complaining, I'll feed you in a moment. Oops. Oh, I'm gonna have to make some food. Yeah. All right, let's cook up some porridge. Porridge, it's what's for dinner. Oh, I've got yes, I've got lapis. Let's make some. Let's use rye. Why not? Yeah. Oh, come here, you. That was weird. Why would that? Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that's not the only lapis I've got. Where's the rest of it? Yeah, I've got 4 lapis. I've also got gold. It's not the first gold I've got either. No, don't think so. Don't think I need to, do I? What am I doing? Putting everything away. That's the last of the fruit. Now, control actually is over here. Control and shift are actually on the mouse. Eh. 2 silver and 2 gold with 16 copper. I've got gold. Do I have? I thought I had silver. No, that's tin. I thought I did have silver. Apparently not. No. Yeah, so sounds like it's blowing out there. What time is it? Oh, 6:30. Yeah. In principle, I can. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. I've actually got a tin ingot. And I've actually got a crucible that's got. Yeah, this one here is actually got. Yeah, I got solidified zinc in here, so I can make a couple of ingots. But yeah, I haven't quite figured out how to... Hang on. Oh, sorry. Oh, you mean I can't use... Okay. No, but I could smelt that and then break it down, couldn't I? But no, I've been hanging on to the tin because I know how to... I know in principle how you make tin. So not tin, bronze. Right. Let's just finish this off. There is actually an aluminium bronze, which of course, it's not going to be available to me at this point. And apparently that's actually quite good, but I can't remember the details about it. Right. -7. Wow. What am I doing? Trying to think. Quern. Yeah, that's actually my sort of project for the winter, isn't it? What I can do is expand the farm for spring, assuming. Oops. Oh, I need flint to do it. Forgot. So we're going to go and do some digging, I think. Yeah, no, I'm going to finish off the anvil first. I'm actually surprisingly close. I only need another 140 units. Dreadful weather. So, let's see. This is low fertility soil. That is... Okay, let's dig this out. That's fine. Can't remember how deep this goes. Oh, medium, low. Where's my medium facility soil? Actually, where is it? Okay, all right. So this medium. Okay. So this is where the old farm ended. When planting season comes, I'm gonna be ready, assuming I'm still alive. Things would be a lot easier if I could... When I get this... Yeah, well, when I get everything sorted, everything comes down to the quern, doesn't it? It's alright. I'm not going to worry about it today, but thank you. I'll bear that in mind. It's one of those things I end up doing the further I get into the game, you know? Oh, I need to clear this out as well. Oh, not getting too cold. Wow, yeah, it's definitely getting colder. It's -4. And I am still... Actually, I'm doing all right. I can't imagine that's a situation that's going to persist. There's no ruins here. Not in this world. I saw a video. Not a video, a reference to a video. What was it? About hightail. I think that I didn't watch the video. I ought to, because it would be interesting to do a response to it. I think they were asking, has hightail made Minecraft obsolete? And the simple answer to that question is no, it hasn't. Minecraft is in no way obsolete. Hightail has done nothing to replace it, in my opinion. So, medium fertility soil. Oh, I could just strip it off the top here, can't I? I ought to have a look and do response videos to that kind of thing. But, yeah. Because... Oops. Because there's a lot of things that Minecraft does that Hightail does not do. Redstone being the classic case in point. And as long as you've got redstone or a system like it, you're not going to replace Minecraft anytime soon, in my opinion. I haven't since my little brief outing with Minecraft, sorry, with Hytale. I haven't gone back to it. At some point I will, just to see what they've done. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. I ought to run it up, see if there have been any upgrades. Hey, little nugget. How you doing? I am attempting not to freeze to death. Well, not in real life, fortunately. I hope you are warmer than the last time. Or was it the time before? I am assuming, by the way, I can take low fertility soil and fertilize it. Yeah, that's pretty much my life. No, I'm in the same area. This is winter. This is the same area. I have not moved. I've been in the same place. This is winter. Yeah. Yes, it has proper seasons. Right now it's -2 degrees. I am chilling down somewhat. All this snow basically fell. Yeah, no, it's got proper winters. If I head further south, I believe the seasons change. But yeah, look, the lake has iced over. Minecraft actually is surprisingly my style. What you really thinking is this is like the long dark, and you are not wrong. This is like the long dark. Long time ago, I did try my hand at a Minecraft channel, just for grins and giggles. I had a few subscribers, but yeah, the channel is long dead. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I think it is. I wanted the full experience. Oops. Yeah, I did. I very explicitly wanted the full experience. Oops. It's not much of a, yeah. I don't. Well, I almost don't really have a choice. I mean, I could do sort of two long dark sessions a day, but that would irritate me. Um, and to be honest, yes, there is. It's been delayed. It was due to go to early access this year, but Hinterland made an announcement recently. I mean, now I'll be honest, I had no expectations whatsoever. Um, but Hinterland made an announcement literally within the last couple of weeks. They are laying off 10 current employees. There are 4 contractors who will not have their contracts renewed, and Black Frost, the Long Dark 2, has been pushed back to next year. Um, I am neither disappointed nor not disappointed. We still have the Long Dark, and there is actually an advantage. Yeah, exactly. I stopped doing that with regard to gaming a long, long time ago. There's no point. Yeah, yeah. I I won't be playing or streaming Grand Theft Auto. I It's not my style, and which isn't to say I haven't played Grand Theft Auto. I got no objection to it per se, but it's not my style, to be honest with you. So I will not be playing it. Yeah, you can see it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's getting dark. Yeah. I've gotten too old for. So I can't remember if I'm pretty certain I've discussed this in the past. As I've gotten older, certain types of games that I enjoyed when I was younger have become less my style. And there was a time, 20 years ago, I happily did play Grand Theft Auto and Liberty City, and now I simply don't feel like it. Um, the Long Dark is more me. I did a first impressions of Green Hell. It's out there. I haven't returned to it, which should tell you something. Green Hell, perfectly good game. Same with The Forest. I did first impressions videos of both The Forest and Green Hell, and in the end, I preferred The Long Dark for survival. Yeah. And Vintage Story. Who would have thought? I mean, Vintage Story, to be honest, does quite well for me. I mean, when I look at my views right now, I've got 47 concurrent. That's pretty good. Oh, by the way, hello everybody. I hope you're enjoying this. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe and let my channel grow. Right, that's the shameless self-plug done. Also, leave a like. I'd be very interested to see what happens if YouTube suddenly realized I had 40 likes all of a sudden. Yeah, it's a fairly consistent number. If I were to predict, I'd probably say this video will have had 100 odd views by the time I'm done with it. Talking about being done with it, I've actually got to take a quick break for purposes of bladder relief, and then I will be right back. Thank you. Oh, hello, I'm back. I've actually started, because of my own experience, leaving more likes on channels that I watch. It's low effort, and you know, every little helps, as they say. Right. Yeah, and it's dark already, which means we're back to making an anvil. Almost ready with the anvil. If I was very, 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 very lucky, I might be able to get the anvil done. So, anyway, thank you for the light little nuggets. Do appreciate that. I actually find I'm not sure how many channels I'm subscribed to. It's into 100 plus. I think. And the result is I have a pretty nicely curated YouTube homepage. Generally speaking, stuff comes up that I want to watch or put in the background. Well, it's like one of the things that the games I play seem to have in common, and I'll include Minecraft in that. So Minecraft, Warframe, Soulframe, um, Vintage Story. Not so much The Long Dark, strangely, is they all incorporate a certain degree of grind, and sometimes it's relaxing. This is actually quite relaxing. Lets me sit and talk, and because as you will all know, I'm quite happy to talk about stuff outside of the game. I mean, I was talking with George R.R. Martin earlier, for example. I've got opinions about all kinds of things, even politics, but we don't discuss politics here, or anything that might come across as being politics. Oh, even Sky, Children of the Light. You have a daily grind that you do in that, and again, I find it very relaxing. And I do play Sky every day, pretty much. Um, I have a Malaysian friend I play with right before my afternoon nap. But Warframe is terribly grindy. Well, I say terribly. I mean, compared with Minecraft. Yeah. I once spent, oh, grief, how long was it? A week in the game, in Minecraft. Um, I think it came out as 24 play hours, and this was in survival mode, digging out a hole, which was, what, 16 by 100. I can't remember how big it was. It was huge. Just so that I could implement some redstone I'd worked out for myself. Because I was curious to see if I could actually do it. I like to call it the most inefficient furnace array anyone's ever put together in Minecraft. Because I wanted to see, with a Minecraft furnace, could you run a furnace array that only was ever where the furnaces were only working with one item at a time. For no better reason than I wanted to see if I could come up with the algorithm to do it. And it was for 16 furnaces. Each furnace required, I think it's 5 blocks of space. Plus a bit extra on either end for supporting infrastructure. It's the slowest Minecraft array. Normally, when people put furnace arrays together in Minecraft, the whole goal is to do things as fast as possible. And I wanted to do this programmatic thing. And it worked. It works. It can use any type of fuel with the exception of bamboo. It will even use lava buckets. It's got a mechanism in place for lava buckets. And I need to go warm my backside because I'm getting cold. I don't have quite enough copper to make this worthwhile. Oh, actually, do you know what? I might as well. Pop our copper in. Oh, do you? I will give that a try. Okay, I've warmed up. See. Shift the right on the ground. No. Oh. No, it's not working. Don't worry about it. Oops. Oh, I'm so close. Oh. And then just the right shift on the ground to remove the water from the bowl. Maybe it's because it's packed dirt. Nope. Not on the stack. Doesn't matter. That's going to be a reminder that I really don't know what I'm doing. I can't remember what I was saying now. Oh, something about oh, yeah. Nah. I think the last thing I was saying that I kind of semi-planned to say was this: I have a better policy now of clicking on like for videos that I watch, assuming that I haven't got them on as general background noise. It's very easy not to do it because it's just there and you play it, and it's easy not to do that kind of thing. comment on the last. Yeah, 68. That's not bad. My record was 255 concurrent. My record for this time of the morning was 140 for Warframe, of all things. But this is pretty good. So thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. Yeah. So yesterday I was talking about putting a second streaming PC together, which I already have, and that got a comment to the effect of, really, you just need to upgrade your existing streaming computer, which is a valid point. Sufficiently robust system can stream and game at the same time. And the guy's absolutely right. If I had the money, you could put a DDR5 system together that would stream and game and absolutely no issues at all. I mean, I'm streaming and gaming. I'm not sure I'd call this a particularly hugely robust computer, but it does fairly well. Because by moving streaming and related activities onto a second computer, it's like doing a GPU upgrade for me while I'm streaming. But for me to do a GPU upgrade, I'd have to upgrade the power supply as well. And so a new GPU, more powerful than one I've got, a new power supply, suddenly it's actually at the same price or more expensive than a second computer. And the second computer gives me an advantage. It means that this thing can only do one thing at a time. It just plays the game. I'm not running all kinds of other stuff. The other thing is, if this computer suddenly fails, I've got a backup computer that I can, in fact, play and stream up to 4K at 60 Hertz on. So, it's also a backup computer. And if I had to, for whatever reason, upgrade the CPU as well, a second less powerful computer is a far cheaper option. If I had to upgrade the CPU on this system, I'd have to replace the motherboard, which means I'd have to replace the RAM. And suddenly that becomes a very expensive proposition. So, a small but relatively powerful little thing that will handle all the streaming actually is a cheaper, more option for me. So just in case anybody's wondering why I don't simply upgrade my computer, that's the reason. And to be honest with you, there are things that Linux has trouble doing that it's easier to do on a second on say OS X, for example. And I prefer OS X to Windows. Don't judge me. I spent 30 odd years working with Windows. Both as a software engineer and a systems engineer. Curiously, my son, who helped me build this computer, was quite the Linux geek. He, for various reasons, has now switched back to Windows. I think I might just have time to finish off this stack before I freeze to death. Ah. Warmth at last. Well, this is the last of the fruit. Pretty much. -10 outside, and we're still in November. Good grief. It can, yeah, Linux can be an overwhelming experience. It is hard to do. Hang on. Why? Why is this not working? Oh, there we go. Sorry. I don't have quite enough. No, Linux has a lot of strengths. Ease of use isn't necessarily one of them. It's got a, yeah, you have to be pretty much mentally prepared to go through all kinds of shenanigans sometimes to do stuff. I don't get into the whole which is the best version. My son recommended Mint, which is based on Ubuntu. So I've still got Mint. It works fine. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I say works fine. For certain values of fine, of course. This is Linux we're talking about. Why have I got that out? Right, let's see if we can't get the rest of our copper. I should be able to finish making the kiln today. Oh, did I remember to take them? Of course, the interesting thing about OS X is while it's not Linux, it is Unix. So there's a lot of similarity if you want to get into terminal stuff. But no, I mean, Unix, yeah, is very, very useful. It's twitchy. It is distinctly twitchy. I'm going to have to say I find Bluetooth support for Linux to be dubious. Don't run, and I've tried various things that, but basically, I only run one USB device on my system because if I run more than one, the second device will have problems, which is why these earbuds that you see me wearing are set to wireless mode, not Bluetooth. The only Bluetooth device I've got on this is my mouse. And I've seen various suggestions for fixing the problem, none of which have made any difference whatsoever. Webcam support is interesting. It's one way of looking at it. And I have an issue, for example, right now with OBS. OBS is supposed to have a virtual camera. Now, I'm not sure that I necessarily need a virtual camera, but I know in the past I did have a virtual camera. And from what I gather, I need to install a particular set of drivers. Now, the problem with that is, yeah, there's issues with that. I can get the drivers, no problem at all. But then you have to build them. Now that's part of the installation procedure, and the build isn't working because the version of GCC required is not the one that I've got, and even if I update to the one suggested, it still won't build. And at that point, I've either got to say I don't really need a virtual camera or dig deep. And it's not something I need to worry about because, as I said, streaming is going to go over to the OS X system, and then I won't have to worry about certain things. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And someday I may just simply say, you know what, we're going to strip out Mint and go over to something else, but then I have to reinstall everything, and I can't be bothered to do that at the moment. One of the problems doing anything too complicated on the system is that, yeah, with my streaming schedule, that doesn't give me as much time as you might think to do things and fix things. I typically try and do that kind of thing at the weekends, specifically in them. That's my best time for doing stuff. But as I have previously related, this weekend trying to get the Mesa 26.0.0.0 drivers installed turned into a minor nightmare. I have just enough, I think. Yep, I've got enough to make. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to finish making the anvil. Oh, no, that's got tin in there. Oops. Yes. Which is why I'm making the anvil. Then I can make the quern. Then I can make fire clay, I hope. And then I can make an oven, then I can make bread, then I can do all kinds of other things. Make a saw, make planks. Make bone meal. Maybe. Yes, this is survival only. This is you are the only person, the first person on the planet type mode, so there are no ruins. At least there shouldn't be. Okay. But look at this. One anvil coming right up. I need to start thinking about where I'm going to put that, because I'm going to need the space for it. And I've got ingots. Ah. Progress. Right, where am I going to put my workshop? Well, the simplest thing to do would be just stick it outside. Ooh, that's going to be a challenge. I'm probably going to be collapsing things, but I think we're going to at least make some kind of start on that. That's my dirt. Oh, I didn't realize I'd done that. How long is this thing? Why did I make this 8 wide? Trying to figure out where to put the anvil. I don't want to stick it around here because this is where the lake is. I could try and stabilize. Nope, that's not going to work. Yeah, okay, that's good to know. Let's stabilize the soil a bit. Oh, it's coal there. I think what I'll do is I'll extend this out so that I've got a space out here for doing stuff. How much space do I need for an anvil? How am I going to get in and out? Yay. Let's see where I can... What have I got on the other side of... Yeah, this works. So... So this is going to be my new workshop area, I think. Don't really need to, but I need the space, so I'll start trying to build and hopefully not destroy everything. This isn't meant to be artistic or anything, by the way. Yeah, I need to move that. How wide do I want to make this? I don't know. I could just throw stuff down. Ah! Oh well. That doesn't fill one full of confidence, does it? Ah! Did it again. Ah. Silly me. And yes, I know I'm still building a dirt hut. Sue me. I have an anvil. How about that? All right, see you later. Thanks for joining me. I got an anvil, though. A copper anvil. I'm probably going to need to build a fireplace, aren't I? But anvil. No idea where I'm going to put my bed, but still. Now I can start putting molds like this in here where I'm going to more likely need them. It's not going to be pretty, I guarantee it. I'll actually raise the roof at some point. And I need to understand how to actually make stuff. I am very tempted to put a separate fireplace in here just for smelting and what have you, because I'm pretty certain I'm going to have to heat up various ores in order to use them. Where am I going to put the bed? Let's at least put the tongs in here. I'm already acting as though I'm actually going to move. Yeah, let's not use this anymore. What's that? Oh. I may as well put my copper tools somewhere. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Doesn't matter. Worry about it later. Ooh, that spear's halfway decent. That one isn't. You can throw them quite a way. Spear used to be my go-to. What's this one like? Oh, keep that. Still don't know where I'm going to put the bed. I could just stick it over there, couldn't I? I'm going to need to make another little alcove for all this kind of rubbish, I think. Gotten to that point. Aye. So, how do I actually use? So now I need more copper, but I do need to know what does I need to do. Chisel. Okay, how do I make a copper chisel? No. Smithing. Okay. So... chisel a copper anvil. Alright, but how do I make a chisel? Copper chisel made by smithing. You also need a hammer. Smelt. Okay. So a chisel needs 1 ingot. Okay. I'm actually wondering how much time I've got, because I actually need to head out briefly in no more than 10 minutes. Let us grab. I do have an ingot and I do have a hammer. Let us. Yes. Okay. Okay. I assume I'm going to need tongs for this. Well, let's get this lit. Reason I need the chisel is to make the quern. This is exciting. It has actually mildly exciting. Oh, hang on a second. I need food. Elf needs food badly. Oh, how many of you get that reference? All right, let's go back to using up the last of my fire starter on this. Oh, sorry. I needed to sneeze at the same time I was doing that. Right. Oh. Come on. Yes. That's fine. Let's go grab my tongs. And I've got a hammer. Got the tongs. And if the tongs can handle a crucible of molten copper, I can only assume. Oh, yeah. How do I heat it up? Okay, now I've just found a complication. Copper chisel, right. Made by smithing. All right. Oh, build a forge. Oh, I need a forge. Okay, all right, I need a forge. Okay, then. Well, that's going to be a whole other endeavor, so I am going to need to build something over there. Forge. How do you build a forge? It is created by cobblestone. Wonderful. How do I get cobblestone? Oh, fire. Oh, you can use regular red clay. Okay, good. But I need that, or can I use any other... Can I use any other stone? Basalt. Hey, Tony, congratulations. You got here just in time to watch me leave. Can I use... So, basalt. All right. And I do have to get going, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Okay, quick rundown. I have an anvil, a hammer I already had. I need to build a forge, which I am now figuring out how to do. We've got some definite progress being made here. So, yay. I'm still alive. It's, yeah, hitting. Yeah. I have built out what is going to become my forge area, which you'll notice is precariously positioned above the ground there. But dug out more of the farm, and I'm still alive. So yeah, definite progress. I'm gonna, yeah, probably chop out here and put a forge in that little area there, or here, or wherever. But yeah. But as I said, I do need to finish pretty much on time today, which is now. And I have forgotten to take a screenshot. That is my screenshot. Because that's a step forward. All I need now is a forge. Then I can make a chisel. Then I can make a quern. Then I can make bread. Then I can do other things. I think I might be able to make fire clay. So, yes. Progress. We are slowly advancing at the same time that I'm risking starving to death, freezing to death, and other kinds of fate which end in to death. So I will be back in about 2 hours with the long dark. I'm sorry, Tony. Once again, you came in at the end. And I got to fix that. Which I will do. Which I will do when we get started next time. So, thank you everybody for watching. I hope it was mildly entertaining / relaxing. If you found it mildly entertaining / relaxing and you stayed for more than 10 minutes, feel free to leave a like and possibly subscribe. It would be much appreciated and helps the channel grow. You've all heard the blurb before. Like I say, I'll be back in a couple of hours with the Long Dark, and again this evening, probably with Warframe, actually. Warframe seems to have picked up a bit in the evenings. So, hope you all have a great day. I will see you all, or some of you, next time.